Hello, I'm the Nostalgia Critic guy. Remember Christmas! Christmas, 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 Christmas! I love Christmas! Season of joy, best time of the year! If I could somehow make love to Christmas, I would. And then I would eat it to consume all its wholesome holiday juices. I love it that much. I love the snow, I love the presents, I love the decorations. I even love these obnoxious little novelty items that burn money like a Yuletide fire. But most of all, I love...
I think I better bow out.
But most of all, I love the Christmas specials. The movies, the shows, the classic shorts, I love them all. But which ones are the best? I mean, I know we all had to watch the Rankin Bass stuff because we mentally enslaved ourselves to do so, but which specials hold up the best? Which ones capture the true essence of Christmas? Which ones are the funniest, saddest, or most influential? Well, tonight, seeing how it's the 12 days of Christmas, I'm counting down the top 12 Christmas specials of all time. Why top 12? Because it's Christmas! This is the top 12 greatest Christmas specials. Number 12. Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean. Living mostly in a world of silence, Mr. Bean shows us that you don't need dialogue to be funny or Christmas-happy. The character is kind of like a 9-year-old trapped in a man's body. So like a child, he encompasses all the excitement about Christmas, but not much of the heart. He's selfish, but he's also innocent, just like most of the kids at Christmas time. A good example is where he's playing with the nativity scene like a G.I. Joe playset. He's not being mean, he just doesn't know any better. I used to pretend that the baby Jesus was a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. I was grounded for a week. There's also a great scene where he writes out a ton of Christmas cards and then sends them to himself. That's both funny and kinda sad at the same time. Most people remember the infamous turkey on the head scene, which results in one of the funniest lines in the show.
You got the turkey on?
There's also a great joke about getting his girlfriend a ring, but I won't dare ruin it for you here. Bottom line, Mr. Bean was full of surprises and almost entirely visual humor, which just goes to prove that Christmas doesn't always have to be heard to be felt.
Merry Christmas, Mr. Bean.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Number 11. South Park, A Woodland Critters Christmas. South Park has done a lot of Christmas specials, mostly with that little piece of crap, Mr. Hanky. But the Woodland Critters Christmas was by far their funniest, because it mixed everything that Christmas was with everything that Christmas wasn't. It dealt with all your Christmas favorites, like the devil, orgies, sacrifices, abortions, and that's just to name a few. Merry Christmas. The special centers around Stan as he keeps performing all these favors for these weird talking animals called the Woodland Critters.
There was Squirrely, the squirrel, Rabbity, the rabbit, Beavery, the beaver, and Barry, the bear, Woodpeckery, the woodpecker, Mousey, the mouse, and Chickadee, the chickadee.
What the hell?
There's even a narrator who tells Stan what to do in rhyme, whether Stan likes it or not.
He ran out the living room, turned off the light, and went back to the forest to set everything right. He thought he could hide from his problems. Not true. He knew in his heart the thing he had to do.
Leave me alone!
He knew that only by going to the forest could he...
All right! God!
I'm not showing much because this Christmas special literally has surprise after surprise, and each one just gets funnier and funnier. Especially the reveal about who the narrator is. Always shocking, always controversial, and always funny as hell, the Woodland Critters Christmas special makes us all thankful that no matter where we spend Christmas, at least we're not spending it in South Park.
Christmas only comes once a year. Ding dong, ding dong.
Number 10. Disney's The Little Match Girl. Alright, I'm kind of cheating on this one, as it's not focused entirely on Christmas. But look, there is a Christmas tree in it! But not only that, the importance of hope, dreams, and the helping of the needy certainly shine through. Most of you probably never heard of it, but believe me when I say it's one of Disney's finest. It's a 7-minute short that's both sad and uplifting, combining the elements of charity, love, and the fragile nature of human life. And I have to admit, it's one of the few things in my life that actually did manage to get me a little teary-eyed. Shut up! Unfortunately, the short is only featured on the Platinum DVD edition of The Little Mermaid, which I'm sure doesn't please people like the Nostalgia chick.
I hate this movie. I sold my soul for a vagina and a man I don't know.
Needless to say, Little Match Girl really does need its own DVD release. It's touching, endearing, and maybe the strongest thing Disney has done since their Ave Maria from Fantasia. If you haven't discovered it yet, do yourself a favor this Christmas and definitely check it out.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Number 9. Home Alone. When you get past all the slapstick and some of the throwaway jokes, Home Alone is actually a very likable Christmas film. It's a movie that didn't have to be very Christmas-centered, but director Chris Columbus decided to go the extra mile by surrounding it in reds and greens, playing Christmas songs, and creating a very bratty but also very innocent character to observe it all. This could have just been another slapstick comedy, but they treated it seriously, giving it a lot of heart and a lot of soul. Macaulay Culkin is often remembered for being kind of this marketing icon, and his later movies definitely show that. But look at him here. That's entirely genuine, capturing both the whiny, selfish side of being a kid, but also the innocent, lovable side as well. I especially love the mother and what almost psychotic lengths she goes through just to get home to her son.
This is Christmas! The season of perpetual hope! If it costs me everything I own, if I have to sell my soul to the devil himself, I am going to get home to my son.
Again, that's both funny and touching. And I love how when she does get home, Culkin doesn't forgive her at first. He remembers what she did, and he needs an acknowledgement of it.
Oh, Kevin, I'm so sorry.
And fortunately, that's all he needs. The family element in this movie actually seems very believable. Sure, they all fight, but in the end, they're still a family. And the Christmas spirit always manages to shine through. But let's be honest, that all comes from the paint buckets. Home Alone, because no one should have to spend Christmas by themselves.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Number 8. Miracle on 34th Street. This movie really knows how...
I need to pack my trunk.
That was annoying. This movie really knows how to portray Santa Claus, in that he's not just a chubby, jolly guy, he's sophisticated and dignified, which only actor Edmund Gouin could provide. It's basically about a man who really thinks he's Santa Claus, and so a court case is drawn out to prove whether he is or not. Cause that's just what kids want to watch, right? A court case! Surprisingly though, Miracle on 34th Street is very entertaining for kids. A lot of that is not just due to Gouin, but also to a very young Natalie Wood, who seems smarter beyond her years, but still essentially a little kid.
He said, "What kind of an animal are you?" And I said, "I'm not an animal, I'm a girl."
Unlike the remake where the kid just seems like a walking pudding commercial.
I probably won't get another chance to see you. Unless I get arrested, which is very unlikely, since it's Christmas Eve and I'm going to bed uncharacteristically early. Aren't I just precious?
It's funny because the explanation of how Santa gets released with the mail argument doesn't really hold up anymore. In fact, that is one of the few things the remake changed I actually thought was a good addition. But still, the actors really pulled this off, making this a very charming and very elegant Christmas tale. A bit of class and taste is just what Santa ordered in this enjoyable classic.
And a very Merry Christmas to you. Thank you, Mr. Kringle.
Ding dong, ding dong.
Number 7. The Small One. This is another one I'm sure a lot of you haven't heard of, but really is timeless. It's about a boy and his relationship with his donkey, who he has to sell because he's getting too old. The rest of the story follows the boy as he tries to find a suitable buyer, but none of them seem to be kind or generous enough for the boy to give him away. I have problems getting rid of my jackass too. But I digress. The ending is pretty easy to figure out, but I won't ruin it for those who haven't seen it. Let's just say it's a perfect ending to what is ultimately an enjoyable and charming Christmas special. It was directed by Don Bluth before he left the Disney department, and like most prime Don Bluth material, it tugs at your heartstrings and brings on the sadness. But like his films as well, it ends on a happy note, which of course makes everything okay. I'm emotionally scarred, but the ending is so happy! It's one of his stronger pieces, and yet it's only a half hour long, keeping it short and sweet. You can find it on this Disney holiday DVD at most DVD stores. And much like the Small One himself, it doesn't cost much and is worth every penny. National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. Much like Home Alone.
I'm fine for you, baby. I'm fine for you, baby.
Okay, your novelty is wearing off tree. You're hanging on by a thread. Much like Home Alone, Christmas Vacation knew how to combine the annoyances but also the charm of staying home for Christmas. What I really like about this movie is that it focuses on a lot of details. Sure, it has all the pratfalls and slapstick like many physical comedies, but it also has all the little moments that you don't think about but always recognize. Like the grandparents asleep on the chairs, or someone just mindlessly watching a Christmas show, and especially the family conversations.
Oh, you promise? You know, they took a pint of fluid out of my lower back.
You see this small?
I got hemorrhoids.
You're not getting the garage space.
The film got all the bits that most people find annoying, but also surprisingly endearing at Christmas time. That, and I'm always shocked that even though Chevy Chase plays such a filthy, dirty a-hole, he still seems to be likable in his naivety. All he wants is the perfect vacation, which of course never happens. But by the end, he realizes all the memories it's left behind, and how he'll enjoy them forever. Funny, detailed, and capturing every Christmas moment, Christmas Vacation knew how to expose this holiday for the enjoyable curse that it is. And that's the...
I've always been a singer, but I'm adding jump. I'm branching out. Get it?
Alright, Treat, you talk one more time, I'm gonna put a bullet in your head and call it macaroni.